not how well they adapt to if the NFL, you know, all of a sudden changes to where you have to carry the ball now. You can't dribble at all.
Well, yeah,
you know,
Brett.
or something stupid.
Okay. So basically, so yeah, you're right. What I would love is I would love to say that I could definitely see and expect something to happen to where, oh, well, league is what league is. These are the numbers we're going to run with, and we're not going to change them. Maybe like every year or so. And then basically, what happens? People like Zion Spartan might not suck. Zion Spartan might continue to be Zion Spartan. He might continue to be Zion Spartan even after he's not Zion Spartan anymore, and he's Darshawn. But the thing about it is that that's not what happened. What happened was solo queue level play got killed with more team-based objectives and hurting the effectiveness of just being the split pushing top. Split pushing tops got pushed out of the meta because Jax isn't relevant. And as a result, Zion Spartan got looked at and was asked to do something. He was asked to adapt, and he couldn't. He could not adapt. He was good at what he was able to do, and he could not change what that was.
That was the same thing. Like, what was it? Season.
It's the same thing with Impact.
Like,
it's the same thing with Balls. Balls.
Like the second. What was it? The second or third season Cloud9 had him, and I was like, and they in an interview they were like, he doesn't play these champs, so we always just. And I'm like, no. I'm sorry. No. If you're a pro player, there is no I don't play these champs. You have to be able to play all champs.
Like, that was the thing about that, is that Balls is over here literally refusing to play certain champions because they aren't his playstyle, and that's not how that works. You can't say that you're in a competitive environment where team building is a centerpiece of strategy when you literally have a player who cannot play additions to other strategies. This means that you're literally playing the same strategy every game, running the same team comp every game, because he can only play one archetype of champion. And he refuses to adapt, and you expect to somehow not lose when other junglers come up, other top laners come up that are willing and have learned to play not only the counters to that archetype, but just other archetypes in general.
Yeah.
It's just like with the situation when they just did these weird changes. Everybody was scared of ADC. And
oh yeah, like last year.
And at the end of the day, it wasn't even like they were scared of ADC. It was the mere fact of the matter that ADCs did what ADCs were supposed to do, which was they did auto attack damage. Which means that if your teams weren't building tanks, weren't running actual team fight compositions, then your ADC got bodied. And eventually everybody realized that in a way, you can't have ADC change. That is what the big lesson from that whole scenario is that Riot learned they cannot change that role. Because if they try to change that role, they get backlash because of what basically happened. Which was that role went from being, again, one archetypal champion to now being open to mages, open to bruises. Well, see, and suddenly everybody was against it because it required people in that role to change.
But see, I think that is a huge, like, if you just want to point to one thing and be like, this is why North America failed, you could point to the ADC thing and be like, look, North America sucks because last year you guys changed ADCs to where you could play mages as ADCs, you could play bruisers or whatever. And some North American teams kind of picked it up, but none of them really took it serious, really wanted to do it. Finally, you guys changed it to where ADCs were just fine, so they just all went back to playing, normal style. Whereas every other region kind of kept running with it, probably maybe China and Europe more than anybody else, and was like, hey, let's play other things down here that could abuse, a team that has an ADC and a support bot lane, and maybe we can play Tristan a mid, or we can play, something like that.
Because that was the...
And they're doing it, and everybody... Look, now North America's been kicked out of Worlds. Why? Because they don't have flexibility.
They weren't ready. They were not prepared for what they encountered in the weird Garen Yuumi bot lane. Now, I do have to give Cloud9 and Reaper some credit. They tried to do something... I'm not sure if it was the best counter to the situation.
Yeah.
But they tried to figure out what was going on, and it was
apparently it did kind of work. I didn't see the match.
From what I understand, I think if I remember correctly, from what I understand, they did not lose lane, but they didn't do anything after laning phase.
Yeah.
So my thing about that one is that that's good, and that's why if anybody got out of group stage, I'd want it to have been Cloud9, because Team Liquid does not need to come out of group stage when they are still playing Season 1, Season 2 bullshit protect double lift comps.
Because double lift refuses to learn how to play anything but ADC. He plays ADCs and he thinks that's enough.
And they picked up Jensen, and I sat there and I said, oh well, they got Jensen now and not shit ass pole builder, but he who can do the same thing that at this point the all-star mid laner for TSM can do, which is farm and not lose lane.
But Jensen has a similar problem. Like, I'm kind of glad Cloud9 got rid of Jensen, because Jensen has a similar problem to like balls and double lift and all those people we're talking about. Like, he plays certain control mages and he plays some assassins, and not really anything else.
I about died the second I saw the Anivia pick come through, and I said, if AHQ was not just absolutely terrible, just absolutely terrible,
yeah,
then maybe they would have literally somehow made it where they could force TL into last place. But that was the thing about that one, is that AHQ played like garbage, and TL was just even more garbage, because good God, the 2 games they played, ooh. I don't know what was going on.
But I mean, I could also say, like, I could see an argument for Riot releasing, doing preseason, and then like 2 to 3 weeks before the season starts, being like, alright, this is the final patch. We are not patching the game again, other than, maybe to patch out like a bug or something, but there will be no balance patches until mid-season. And mid-season will, we might need to update some stuff.
Yeah.
So then every team has the, they can learn how to play, and they have, plenty of time to practice. And it would also probably make it easier on the players for, even though every other, almost every other region does this, for them to play best of 3s instead of best of 1s.
I mean, definitely a thing of contention is the situation where we have people. I typically don't care, because as long as they're not touching my characters, I don't give a damn. But we definitely have a situation where it probably would benefit League competitive a lot if, you know, Riot just stopped doing what they're doing now, which is like, you know, these every 2-week patch schedules, and instead went back to more of like the, like, you know, 10 years ago, patch the game whenever-ish patch schedules. Because in reality, it would be better if Riot had an idea of what they wanted League of Legends to be that season, tried their best to create this idea, you know, define whatever meta they were trying to define, and then basically let the game go as it was. And then let people figure out what to do with the things they were given, the changes that were made, and then basically, you know, only chime in when they see something that's just astronomically, you know, disgusting. Like apparently current Garen. Like apparently current Garen is just stupid. Or, you know, current Garen is like apparently damaged. Which is, you know, a huge surprise, because, you know, that champion definitely was not known for that one. Except for in troll builds when people built fucking crit.
Well, yeah, and that, I mean,
crit
that's another thing.
Fucking spin.
Like, they completely changed Garen as a champ, because he's not a tank anymore. He's a fucking, you know, bruiser at the very least.
Fucking storm.
He's a bruiser with a silence too.
Oh no, I forgot. What is it? That one Garen that was like, Wits End is just so much better than Triforce.
No, it's not. But anyway. Yeah, like, I mean,
I told people, because, you know, people would people that would always sit there and be like, what's wrong with Dyrus? Well, you know, around the time that Dyrus retired, and I was like, nothing wrong with Dyrus. There's nothing wrong with Dyrus at all. The problem I have with Dyrus is the fact that Dyrus cannot play anything that's not tank top. I remember literally watching this man stream.
Or Vladimir.
I remember literally watching this man stream when Yasuo came out. And this man is literally trying to play like bruiser Yasuo top. It's just so watching, because of the fact that he, you know, he just doesn't play damage characters, and here he is trying to play a damage character, and he's fucking building him bruiser because, you know, can't build him tank because, you know, he's not a tank, but, you know, he's not a bruiser either.
Well, then there was that time that Riot was kind of like, well, let's make Yasuo a bruiser, and everyone was like, stop. Fucking stop. He's broken enough. Jesus Christ. Now you can't kill the dumbass. Like, his shield is bad enough.
The biggest, like, what the fuck balance team changes was when we was like, bruiser Yasuo, and we were like, we're gonna make Galio, after literally changing his kit to where he literally can't do this, a bruiser again.
Sorry.
Literally changed his kit to where he cannot do that anymore. And then thought, oh, you know, if we just give him more damage and less tankiness, bam, bruiser.
And then he shit all over everybody. He's like, tornado death.
Wow, I missed that. He's so bad. Holy shit. But you know, bad things are happening, and somehow I'm not in tower range. That's good.
Explain, why did you ult? I don't understand. But yeah, like, I mean, I think, you know, there are a lot of good points, like, you know, yes, people...
I mean, I feel like it's the same as when Charlie was, you know, talking about everything that happened and basically trying to blame Riot for why they didn't succeed. And I was like, well, you know, you're right, you're partially right, but you're also still wrong, because your problem is that your players refuse to actually fit, and it's not really that it's your players per se, it's more or less the majority of your league. Like, if you literally sat there and moved Cloud9 over to Europe, like, moved the entire fucking team over to Europe and started competing in Europe, I'm almost 90% sure that Cloud9 would probably make it back into the LEC, get out of the LEC with Fnatic and G2 more than likely next year, and then basically probably, if not make it out of groups, probably make it at least to the semifinals. Merely because of the change of scenery and the change of attitude, not necessarily, you know, metaphorically speak, in your locker room, but just in competition alone. It's definitely a thing. Like, you look at the NFL situation and you say, well, you know, Cowboys are a pretty good team, but I mean, if you look at everybody else in the Cowboys division, every single one of them have a losing fucking record right now. So it's almost like, yeah, Cowboys are a good team, but as soon as they get out of their division and start playing some of these other teams in other divisions that, you know, maybe have a losing record in theirs, but it's more like it's, you know, 3 and 4. And it's not really that they've lost a bunch of games pretty hard. It's that they've literally, you know, they've literally had to play against just really good teams, like, you know, the fucking Lale Lule Lo over here, damn Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Well, I mean, like, I think Reaper is easily the best coach in North America, and but it's really, like you're saying, it's really hard for him to be like, all right, this is how we're gonna play when the meta is so not that at all in North America. And so it's like, do we play the meta that's gonna make us just generally better, but we're gonna have a harder time winning our region because of it? Or are we, you know, do we just say, okay, well, we're gonna play our region's meta and still work on being flexible and everything, so that we can kind of do both, which sort of just sets you up for failure. Like, it's really difficult to have that work out for you in any way, shape, or form.
And I mean, it's definitely a matter of the fact that, you know, what needs to happen is that there needs to be a revamping to the LCS. That's definitely a concurrent, it's a continuous problem, is that there needs to be a revamping to the LCS. And that, you know, something concrete needs to happen where, you know, a more competitive structure is made in order to provide, I guess you could say, a suitable environment for teams that wish to be represented accordingly, so that we don't have to deal with the fact that, you know, like I said, Sneaky might want to basically win Worlds, but Sneaky can't win Worlds when his entire region's ADC population basically says, oh, well, you know, fuck it.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to get any better dealing with the fact that, you know, someone in the face of the necessity to adapt says, when do you think Riot's going to change it back? And his team is literally the top of the NA ladder for the past 3 years. Similar to how, you know, it wasn't any better when the top of NA was always TSM, yet TSM was always such a poor performing, poor representative of all of the things that were going on in terms of the NA competitive spectrum, because all it was either mid lane's going to win or we're not going to win at all.
Yeah. I mean, TSM, especially, like something needs to change really bad with TSM.
Oh yes,
because it's. I feel like as far as Reggie, like Reggie just basically needs to never talk. Because I feel like every problem TSM has always had, I feel like is a symptom of Reginald thinks this is how you should play the game and win. And that's not how the game works anymore.
It's not how the game works at all. Because if anything, the main thing that's making some of these teams just absolutely unstoppable in terms of presence is the fact that some of these teams literally have players that, you know, yes, Faker's going to carry the game this time, but next game, it might be his top laner. It might be his mid lane. It might be him again. It might be the fact that his jungler just ends up getting like 6-0 in something like 15 minutes somehow.
Yeah, it might be Teddy on Kale, not on, you know, an ADC, but on something else.
I mean, because, you know, as far as I know, according to what I've looked at, apparently Teddy's just a god. Teddy's just a god.
Yeah, Teddy's super good. I'm glad Teddy's finally on a good team, because Teddy was on, I think, Jin Air for like years.
Jin Air Green Wings,
and they're just they're just terrible. And everyone was always like, I hope Teddy gets on a good team because but he's on this. He's never gonna get anywhere on Jin Air, man.
You wanna know who's actually pretty dangerous going into the knockouts stage? Dongwon, because apparently Dongwon was the best performing team out of the boot camp. Because apparently, like, Dongwon had literally 4 members of their team be the top LP gaining players out of everyone in the boot camp. And I believe one person from like I think it was RNG. I think somebody from RNG was like the other player in the top 5. But you know,
I still put SKT as winning my bracket.
I mean, SKT is winning my bracket because I don't really see. You know, I love to see Fnatic win a game, but you know, if it came down to it, I could see a repeat. You know, the good old Fnatic SKT matchup, but I don't see Fnatic winning it. And I mean, you know, I mean, you know, good. Another thing to going into this year is you could probably say it's also really good to see G2 not look like shit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that definitely happened the previous year where, you know, GT showed up and it was almost like, man, I thought G2 was like Fnatic good. But, you know, guess not. But, you know, G2 is definitely showing out this year, you know, showing that they're pretty competitive.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's good to see because, you know, I sat there and I was like, you know, man, it doesn't matter what happens. Knockout round is literally going to be Europe, China, and whoever's unlucky enough to get in the mix of this war. Because literally all the European teams got in, all the Korean teams got in. So the other 2 teams that get in here are literally just here to be like, oh shit, what did I get into? What did I get into? Because, you know, IG's cool, but I don't think IG's gonna do anything.
Right.
Because, you know, Korea definitely showed up and basically sat there and was like, alright, we got our asses kicked last year. It's time to, you know, get back to form. Get back.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, you know, what you gotta do is that you gotta convince the right people that it doesn't matter what Double Up wants. You want to play best of 3s, and you want to play lots of games, and you need to play lots of games if you want to be taken seriously as a region, and not out here looking like damn LMS. Because, you know, I hate to say it, but LMS is it's just, you know, at this point, it's just dog shit. It's dog shit region. I'd rather have them throw Vietnam or Russia in here, you know, the CIS, because you know, I just look at it and I say, you know, Unicorns of Love are a better team than AHQ. Gambit Gaming in its current state is probably a better team than J Team. You know, this LMS is just not a good region anymore, and they really need to, you know, do something to try to, you know, subvert that. But that's not here. That's not the here or there. You need to make sure that you get it right.
Didn't all the LMS teams have to play play-ins?
No, J Team did, and I don't think that HQ did either. Because J Team was supposed to be the #1 seed from LMS. But simple. You need to get your games. You need to get your best of 3s. You need to tell your players. You need to tell all of NA. You need to get your shit together. You need to understand that you can't just sit around here playing fucking tank top for 5 seasons and expect something to change. Which is, you know, taking shots at Dyrus again, because, you know, like I said, the only problem with Dyrus is that Dyrus literally can only play tank top. Now, it's basically the situation with, you know, good old JC's the top lane. You know, I expect him to play Gangplank. I don't want him playing anything else other than Gangplank. Gangplank is what I need him to play. I will build around it. I will build around it so much so that I will build a fucking castle with a moat and a gate and put like 2-3 alligators in there because that's all I care about. I know what he can do on Gangplank. That's what I need him to be on.
Yeah. Josh played a game yesterday and he was like, "You wanna play?" I was like, "No, I'm doing something." He was like, "How come I keep getting auto-filled to jungle?" I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "At least I can kind of fake top lane."
Because everybody wants to play top, because everybody wants to play that new Garen. That new Gabon. Man, we just got AIDS. And so,
yeah, you guys' team fight is kind of bad.
I don't know what's going on, Brett. I lost track of what was going on when we got straight into mid game. I was like, "What's happening? What's happening? Is Ezreal fan? Is Ezreal going to carry me? Can you carry me, Ezreal?"
I mean, he's trying, but there's I don't know. Your team fight is shaky. Just real
This Kane
bad.
is shaky. This Zed is shaky. There's a lot of shaky things going on.
Yeah.
And so I just look at it and I'm just like, man, you gotta get him in here. You gotta get rid of double up players. Like, plain and simple. Send that man straight to the stream box where everybody else that's basically, you know, retired LCS. Just send him straight to the stream box.
Yeah, I don't.
Because, you know, the only thing, like, if you wanted to keep Dyrus around so that he could be literally old man over here, you know, basically the equivalent of Daniel Jones and Eli Manning, an old man looking at young man being like, "Hey man, you know, that's not how you play Scion." You know, you could do that. I'd pay Dyrus to look at my top laner and tell him that's not how you play tank tops. But, you know, that's all I'm doing with Dyrus. I'm not telling Dyrus to play. I'm just telling him to teach him how to play his tank tops. It's just like
Meanwhile, everybody loves 100 Thieves and Good lord, do they suck.
Oh my god, they suck. I literally look and I'm just like, man, this team should be so much better. And you know, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt for that. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt right here, right now, and I'm gonna say that the reason 100 Thieves isn't good is the same reason that Cloud9 can't do anything in Worlds. It's because the fact that they live in a region that is just completely incapable of changing or adapting to the situations at hand. And so I'm going to say that 100 Thieves is bad because North America is bad, not because 100 Thieves is just, you know, an awful team. Because it's not an awful
100
team.
And granted, all the teams kind of suffer from this, but 100 Thieves is a huge. 100 Thieves' biggest problem is what Jack said when he was, you know, that we were talked about the other day. There is no new talent in North America. Right. It just doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
And so they don't have anyone that they can pick up to use to play. Like, there's just no talent for them to grab. And, like, Cloud9 is lucky. They have Sneaky, and Licorice, you know, is amazing, and that was just complete random. You know, he actually, you know, like, there's just nothing left for these other teams in North America. And, like, you know, if they don't fix that you know, if the owners don't force Riot to fix that situation, you know, it's gonna be the same thing again, where unfortunately Nadeshot has created an amazing brand that people seem to love. That's pretty good in most other esports that they compete in, but they're complete shit at League.
And you know, like, you know, it's as bad as it is to say, because probably the biggest thing about the brand of League of Legends 100 Thieves is the fact that Aframu is the thing. But in all honesty,
yeah,
if Aframu wants to win Worlds, or at least be on the top of North America, Aframu needs to leave 100 Thieves and go to Cloud9.
But I don't think Cloud9 would take him, because I think Zazel is actually better than Afro.
That's the thing about it. Is,
based on performance, like, like, if you were to ask me right now, like, what position should Cloud9 take someone from, you know, for, I don't know, that maybe to have a ADC sub?
You definitely ain't taking X Smithy's sorry ass. And I don't care what anybody says. That man is still the shittiest jungler that he was when he started.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Licorice is good, Zazel is good, Sneaky is still pretty solid. We don't want Impact, because Impact can only play Season 3 jungles. I mean, Season 3 top lane. Yeah. Like, I don't know that there's, like, and I haven't watched enough of their games to have any kind of read on their mid laner or their jungle. Oh wait, jungle! Fucking get rid of Svenskeren. Oh my god. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I just remember I watched their last game at World, and Svenskeren was like, "Come help me! I'm coming up to do this level 2 gank as Lee Sin, and I'm gonna get us both killed." Like what the fuck?
I did not understand that pickup at all, because I was like, there are so many other junglers that you could have gotten. Wait, hold on. Where was the boy? What team is the boy on? What happened to Reno?
I don't know. I don't know where Rainover is.
Because
I don't think he's on
I'm
clutch.
trying to figure out why Rainover.
Yeah, because Lyra's on clutch.
I'm trying to figure out why Rainover wasn't on Cloud9.
Oh wait, isn't Rainover on TSM?
Is he?
Didn't he go to TSM?
Where is Rainover?
Shut down.
I mean, like.
God damn, where did he go?
And Cloud9 has Blabber, who is their ADC or jungle sub. But they need to just, if they want to do that, they need to just play him and get rid of Sven, because Svenskeren did some, like, quite a bit of bullshit at Worlds. It was like, excuse me, what?
Oh, Brett, that's where he is. Damn it, what is he doing? He's coaching.
Behind me lies
for them.
For who?
Yes.
Cloud9?
He's a coach.
Huh.
God damn it. Fucking hell, man. What is he doing coaching? He's supposed to be playing.
I will carve my scars into the heavens.
Who was it last season that was like doing us? Somebody else was also doing some mad shit. They was balling out in the NA. I don't remember who it was. But I remember I watched like a couple of games and I was like, holy shit, what is this? What's going on here? See, Cloud9 probably needs. I tell you Cloud9 needs still. Cloud9 is still Lyra for fucking clutch.
Maybe, yeah. Because Lyra's not that bad. Although Lyra tilts pretty hard sometimes.
I mean,
what did you, how? What are you guys doing?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That started good, and then you tower dome, and Echo and Garen were like, well, I guess we'll just
Rush! That's who. I think that was who I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Rush. Was it Rush? Rush was on
Rush was on
Cloud9.
Cloud9. And I don't know why we got rid of Rush. I don't remember exactly why we got rid of Rush.
I don't either.
Especially, you know, when you talk about the situation of getting rid of Rush in exchange for, you know, the European jungle that nobody wanted.
I think they traded Rush for Blabber? Maybe? I don't remember. Because Rush was on Cloud9 recent. Like, well, not this season, but last season I think he was on Cloud9. As like a sub or something.
Oh, that was a long time ago. That was 2016.
Oh. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't even know, you know. I don't really know what to do about it because, you know, it seems almost like we're getting invaded. It's almost like North America's getting invaded by Europe. Because you got Amazing over on 100 Thieves, you got fucking Santorin on FlyQuest, fucking Svenskeren on damn Cloud9.
You have, but Svenskeren doesn't count anymore. I don't think. Even though, yeah, I mean, yes, he is European, but he doesn't count as a like out of state or out of country player. Because he's been in the U.S. for so long. But no, I think they need to. I think that's happening because there are no other options.
Well, yeah,
like
that's definitely a situation. Because I mean, you know, you could. I mean, TSM probably did a bold thing that, you know, is completely uncharacteristic of TSM, which is they pulled a random like challenger jungle out of something and tried to throw him in jungle.
Who was that? Broken Blade?
Yeah. Oh, no,
he was a mid. He's a mid laner.
Not Broken Blade. He was the top laner. They like pulled I think Acadian was like legit, just basically like a challenger level fucking jungler. And then he got picked up.
But no, Acadian was on Golden Guardians, wasn't he?
No, he was on Optic Gaming.
No, it was
he, was
Echo
on,
Fox.
he was on Echo Fox, and then he was on Optic.
Right. Speaking of Echo Fox, Rick Fox is starting a new esports team organization.
What do you mean he's starting a new one? Wait, he sold it, didn't he? Or did he lose? Or didn't he?
No, they're sort of in litigation because Riot said, "Hey, Rick Fox accused that guy of being racist." Yeah. Riot more or less validated that claim and said, "You have to sell this." Told Echo Fox, "You must sell this guy's stake in your organization, or you'll lose your spot." Echo Fox refused to sell that guy's stake, or couldn't. I don't know that it was ever. I don't know that we ever found out if they tried and couldn't, or if they just didn't want to. And so Echo Fox lost their spot, and Riot sold the position and is having to divvy out the money to the owners because Echo Fox, the org is trying to blame Rick Fox for all of it, and so they don't want him to get any money from Riot selling the spot, and so it's a big mess. Apparently.
That's okay, man. Because you look at all the people that we can pick up right now. We can pick up we can pick up Apollo for sneaky backup.
No, don't.
We can pick up Phoenix for mid lane.
Most definitely
we
not.
Got, Panda and Mike Young on jungle.
Just stop, right? I haven't heard any names that.
We can pick up Lorelu for top lane.
No, you can't.
The boy Lorelu.
Because bad.
Look at all them good.
Your team is players, man. Hinging on your Swain.
All of them good players picking up right now. I've never seen so many good players.
What is this enemy? Are we doing split push Garen? Is that what I'm seeing? Is Echo about to 3v1? No.
Probably. Maybe.
Oh.
That's just my thing about it, is that I'm just kind of like, man, y'all really out here trying to act like y'all competitive, but y'all act like y'all, every time somebody talks about being competitive, because I remember the prime people bitching about some practice tool was fucking NA players. Because good God, everybody and their mom was like, well, how you supposed to be good when there isn't a practice tool? Prime example was, the false prophet Keith.
Yeah.
Acting like he was hot shit, and then, as soon as he finally, gets into the situation, guess what? He's just as shitty as any of the other ADCs in North America.
Yep. That is true.
Double up, basically the same degree. Everybody was complaining and asking for this practice tool, and yet at the same time, they're the same people that say, I don't want to play best of threes. I don't want to play all these games. I don't want to have to do this and that every day. I don't want to have to literally sit there and adapt and, not play champions that I've played for the past 8 years. But I want to practice. I want to be competitive. This time, NA is gonna do it.
I mean, it's hard. Like, on one hand, like, I can imagine if I was playing a video game professionally and you had to play, you know, I don't remember how many games, you had to play 2 best of 3s a week, and Riot's sitting here changing the meta every 2 weeks. And so you're trying to figure out what you got to play, make sure you're good enough on those champs and stuff. Like, on one hand, I feel for them, and on the other hand, they play a video game for work. So it's hard for me to be sympathetic. Because, like, I mean, like, baseball players or football players or whatever, yeah, they play a couple games a week, and I'm sure it's stressful, but the NFL isn't like 3 weeks into it, they're like, all right, guys, you can't tackle it now. You can't tackle each other, or some bullshit. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, okay, the only way you can tackle someone is jump kicking them, like, or something,
No,
now we only allow.
They already do that.
Like,
fucking clotheslining people.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing that I'm like, I don't, like, the having to adjust to a whole brand new meta. I can understand that, plus having to play a bunch of games being stressful. But at the end of the day, they play a video game for work, so.
Again, I just look at it and I say, man, if you want change, you gonna have to change. Because the problem isn't what you've been given, it's the fact that you aren't doing anything in order to adjust to the situation at hand. You aren't willing to put in the work to be like everybody else out here who is putting in all of the work. There is literally an entire scene of European teams that aren't even in the LEC, aren't even going to Worlds, and are just literally trying to be out here trying to basically, recreate the idea of, wow, Germany ain't losing to fucking Sweden in League of Legends. I know that much.
Yeah, I mean that's partial. A lot of that is Riot's fault, because Riot created the academy scene, and the academy scene is trash. Like, they need to allow a bunch of other teams into the academy
I think probably the worst thing that happened with the academy scene is that academy happened and it literally turned into it's the academy team, but at the same time, it's also the team where we're dumping all of these, for lack of better representation, old league players who had basically, we are basically we are aware that they aren't performing as well as they used to, but we're also not going to do anything to tarnish and or hinder them from their current course. And so we're just going to throw them into the academy scene and have them not only influence, but also, play with players who are probably aspiring to do more.
Yeah.
But, obviously, that's the problem in itself, is we aren't getting anything from it.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that academy is like your alt team, which is kind of bad, especially considering a few years ago Korea did alternate teams, and one of the organizations, both teams went to Worlds,
which was probably a hilarious moment, considering that you literally got Samsung over here with 2 fucking teams.
But yeah, I mean, the fact that Riot was like, "Oh yeah, we'll just this will be you guys alts." No, there's not enough people in that league, and like, well, you can make the argument, well, it's the same amount of people in the LCS. True, but look at how the LCS performs compared to everybody else. They're shit. I mean, they were slightly okay previous years because Cloud9 was like dragging North America along like 1,000-pound weight, but this year they couldn't do it.
And fucking screaming.
Yeah.
Cloud9 was literally out here fucking trying. Well, ever since season 3, Cloud9 has literally been out here trying to drag North America, kicking and fucking screaming.
Yep. Yep.
And it's not Sneaky's fault. It's not Jack's fault. It's not Reaper's fault.
Him and his cape, by the way. Did you see his cape that he wore one day?
Cape.
I was like, "What are you wearing?"
It literally just boils down to the fact that NA is not performing because NA refuses to perform. And until all of North America decides to perform, it's not going to get any better. And you know, Double Up is never going to get out of groups, apparently.
Nope. I mean, Double Lift hasn't ever done anything to deserve to get out of groups.
You know, there's that, but
like he is a person I cannot feel sorry. Like, as far as him, I mean, as far as his personal life goes, yes, I can feel sorry for him because he had some really messed up shit.
He's had some spots, and you know that's a completely different
but
thing.
Like,
I mean, you know,
as far as his professional career goes, no, he's in a situation of his own making. He has never done anything to make himself a better player. You know, he's been decent, and he's always been decent. He's never made any effort to be superior. Like, I mean, it was, you know, when ADCs went out, you know, when Riot basically benched all the ADCs in the game last season, and Travis Gafford interviewed Doublelift and Reckless and Perks over lunch. It was
Perks
like,
fight that bitch.
You know, yeah, Doublelift is like, no, I just, you know, I play ADCs, and Reckless at least had the decency to be like, I don't know how to play these champs. Can I not play?
And you know, that
Reckless was like, I can't do this. We will lose. So how about instead of that, you know, sub me out and let me learn how to play these champs. Whereas Doublelift was like, no, I'll try to learn how to play, but I'm mostly just going to play ADC still. And get shit on.
Like,
and meanwhile, Perks is over here like, I don't understand. Like, I can play every champ in the game. The fact that you guys can't just means you suck.
When you look at the past, because
Perks has no chill. I feel like
when you look at the past 7 years, and you realize that only 2 out of those 7 years did Cloud9 not place top 8.
Yeah.
But you also have to look at that out of those 7 years, all 7 Cloud9 was there.
Yeah.
And generally speaking,
Cloud9 always makes it to Worlds.
They always did better than every other NA team that was present.
Well, yeah, because Cloud9 did what they needed to try to be a better team Whereas whenever TSM and Liquid, they're like, oh, we won our region. Yeah, because that's all they focused on was winning their region. They didn't try to be better.
Literally was like, because every time the North American Championship rolls around, I always sit there and I laugh because we pretend that this is like some kind of prestigious award when I think probably, no, I'm almost certain that no North American champion has made it out of groups. Not a single one.
Yeah, because the year Cloud9 was champs, they made it out of groups because they didn't have to play in groups. Right. And then they immediately lost.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. They literally got a bye into the bracket stage and then lost to Fnatic.
Yeah, and all of them were like, I wish we would have played in groups because we probably could have won, which is probably true. Like, they might have been able to win at least a match or two, if not the whole series.
So, I mean, when you look at it, you just sit there and you're like, no North American champion has ever made it out of groups. And so that's why, every time somebody's like, North American Championship, I'm like, no. Like, don't act like that's a prize. Not a prize. Because TSM has obtained that prize like 4 or 5 times and has never made it out of groups. TL has obtained that prize like 2-3 times and has never made it out of groups. That title is literally the equivalent of the 24/7 championship in WWE right now, which is literally a belt that just gets bounced back. It could literally just be changed. You literally have hands change 3-4 times a night. It's pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to mean anything until you can show up with 3 teams from your region and do what Europe and Korea are doing, which is literally secure their presence in the final. That's basically what's happening here.
Yeah.
Is that they are securing their presence in the final. Even if one of them does not show up, you can be safe betting that there's going to be at least a European and Korean team in the finals of this world.
And you might have it. We could be surprised and have 2 Korean teams.
We could be.
Well, and we also could be very surprised and have a Chinese team and a Korean team because
I don't have
maybe FPX will remember that they know that at some point they knew how to play League of Legends.
They knew how to play League of Legends. It definitely wasn't very clear in the group stage. In the group stage, I kind of sit there and I was like, I thought y'all were good. Y'all are struggling a little bit here. And you got Vietnam and LMS in this group, so I'm not sure what's happening. But if FPX is struggling, then I just gotta look at it and I might be like, I don't think Fnatic's losing that game. Maybe Invictus might, and I don't think Invictus is gonna do too well against Griffin. But I can promise you that regardless, I don't see SKT not making it to the finals because they definitely ain't about to lose to Splice unless Splice fills out that some kind of secret sauce. Holy shit! Like, fucking kryptonite in the back trunk. Something.
Yeah.
They got to fucking pull some shit to get beat to win that game. But I don't see that happening. I mean, Dongwon versus G2 is probably going to be an interesting match. And it's probably going to be a testament to just how, OP G2 is. But then at the same time, I don't see G2 beating SKT either. I give them a barely. I give them a, y'all might do some things. When CLG is like our longest reigning member, Stixay going signing for 2 more years.
I don't know that that's like. I mean, they don't have any other options, but I don't think that's a good thing. Because was he any good this season? Like,
I mean, they had a run last season, which was fantastical. Or that not last season, but the season beforehand, which was fucking fantastical because it was great watching good old Golden Boy Double Up look at his team doing well while he's doing shit.
I mean, just like I don't get it. Like, I understand, like, as an organization, and it's sort of a, I guess it's maybe an American or like a Western thing. Like, they want to be, loyal to their players, who've been with them and stuck with them through thick and thin and all this other stuff. Whereas Korea is like, every year we're having tryouts. If you suck, you gone. Like, it doesn't matter. Impact won a world championship off the team over Christmas. Like,
Oh boy, I feel
Piglet won a world championship off the team after Christmas.
I was about to mention that because I was like, oh man, I remember. I forgot about good old boy. That if I feel sorry for anybody, it's that man. Because man, he was trying his damnedest, and every time he'd lose a game, he'd just start crying again, and I'd be like, oh, don't do that. Don't be doing this, Piglet. It's okay, Piglet. It's gonna be alright. You're making that NA money. That was about like Mooney. Literally plays on SKT for a year, goes back to North America. Well. Oh boy.
North America, such garbage.
Great, man. It's great.